Hi guys, it's Mema, and today I'm going to be doing an oil change on one of my husband's motorcycles, and he has written out instructions, but I will be actually doing the oil change all by myself. I hope you enjoy. Hi guys, it's me again, and the first thing we're going to do is talk about how we get prepped to do the actual oil change. So we have the owner's manual, and this happens to be a 2002 Buell M2 Cyclone. So what you want to do is you want to reference this just so that you know the type of oil, the type of filter, how much oil, the location of the drain plug, the oil tank, and all those kind of things, so that you kind of get familiarized with it beforehand. So what we're going to need to do the oil change is a pair of gloves, a slotted screwdriver, some pliers, a oil drain pan, and we have 20W50 oil and a new oil filter. So we've got everything kind of laid out. The other thing that you want to do is make sure that the motorcycle is warm, so leave it running for a little bit, but then be super careful once you start working, because the parts will be hot. Okay, the motorcycle is now safely secured on the lift, and in just a minute we're going to raise it up a bit. Now keep in mind, this can be done on the ground, but if you do have a lift, it makes it a little bit easier on the back. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our slotted screwdriver and we're going to remove the screw under here. And what that's going to do is help us to remove the seat so that we can gain access to the oil tank. Okay, so I have my gloves on, and we have an oil drain pan in place, and what we need to do is compress this clamp right here and move that out of the way, and then you may need to use the pliers. We're going to pull this plug out and direct the hose with the oil coming out of it into the oil drain pan. Like that. So now that all of the oil has drained out of the motorcycle, we are going to take the oil drain pan and put a cover on it, and that's going to go off to recycling. Then what we want to do is take that plug that we had taken out and clean it off with a clean rag, and then that's going to get put back in exactly where we took it out from, which is right here. Like that, and then we're going to use the pliers and we're going to pinch this and move that clamp right back in place. Okay, so next we are going to be taking out the old oil filter and putting in a new oil filter. So what we did was we put a rag here to kind of collect any oil that comes off of this, the old filter. We are going to use a Harley-Davidson oil filter wrench to remove the old one. I'm making a huge mess here. Do you want to step in, honey?
Nope, you did fine.
It's really hot. Okay, so now we are cleaning up from my little disastrous taking the old oil filter out. I guess he was right. A bunch of oil does come out of there. So we're getting that all cleaned up, and then we'll move on. Okay, so now we're going to take a clean rag and we're going to clean out inside of the oil filter mounting bracket. Okay, and then once that's done, we're going to take 4 ounces of clean oil and we are going to pour that into the new black filter. And then we're going to take a little bit on our finger, and there's a rubber seal on the filter, and we're just going to kind of put some of the oil right on there. And now we are going to put the new filter onto the mounting bracket, and I will apologize in advance if we have another fiasco because this has oil in it. Let's give this a try. I did it. All right, so we're going to kind of hand tighten it, and then I'm going to have my husband do it one last half a turn. And there we go, the new filter is in place. Now we're going to be putting new oil into the oil tank. So you want to remove the dipstick, and then using a funnel, we are going to put 2 quarts of oil into the motorcycle. And then once we're done doing that, what you're going to want to do is check on the dipstick to make sure that the oil level is up to this mark here on the dipstick. Okay, so we have filled the oil and we checked the level and it's fine. So what we're going to do is my husband on painter's tape puts the mileage and the date of when he did this oil change, and we're just going to kind of stick it right here. What we're going to do next is put the seat back on and take it off the lift, and then give it a bath, get any of the oil drips that I caused during this oil change off of the bike, being mindful of any oil on the tires because that can be really unsafe. And so that was my first oil change ever, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will be doing other videos coming up with other do-it-yourself and around the house repairs. Thanks.